Hello students, welcome to the English class. Today we will continue with the lesson filmmaking. In the earlier video we have read about filmmaking and its introduction and the first part of it, that is childhood foretells future. Now here let us start with the second part of it. So second part is split second impressions. Here the author says that a film for me begins with something very vague. A chance remark for a bit of conversation, a hazy but agreeable event and related to any particular situation. So here the author is saying that a film for him, it was a very different thing and it was a chance remark and in which some sort of conversation is there and it is related to some particular situation. It can be a few parts of music and shaft of light across the street. Sometimes in my work at the theatre, I have envisioned actors made up for yet unplayed roles. So here he is saying that that film includes some part of music and some part of the lights even across in the street, and many a times the author has observed that the characters are acting in some sort of acts which they have never acted before. These are split second impressions that disappeared as quickly as they come, yet leave behind a mood like pleasant dreams. So here the author has discussed about the split second impressions and he is telling the quality of these impressions. He is saying that they disappear just like they come, but they leave behind a mood which is the pleasant one. It is a mental state, not an actual story, but one abounding in fertile associations and images. Most of all, it is brightly colored thread sticking out of the dark sack of the unconscious. Means the split second impression is a mental state which is not an actual situation, but it is fertile and the images it left behind in our mind, that impression which it left, that is quite pleasant one. Here the author is saying, if I begin to wind up this thread and do it carefully, a complete film will emerge. This primitive nucleus strives to achieve definite form, moving in a way that may be a lazy and half asleep at first. So here he is saying that if he will try to wind up the thread and do this activity very carefully, then he will develop a film out of that, because he is saying that all those things, that is split second moments, were impressions, were in a half asleep situation. Therefore they all have to be recalled very carefully. Its stirring is accompanied by vibrations and rhythms which are very special and unique to each film. The picture sequences then assume a better in accordance with these rhythms, bungalows born out of and conditioned by many original stimulus. And these split second impressions provide us the original stimulus. Therefore people used to, or the directors used to, run after achieving them. If that embryonic substance seems to have enough strength to be made into a film, I decide to materialize it. Then comes something very complicated and difficult. So the author is saying, if it is quite interesting thing, the split second impression, then he decided that he will prepare a film over it, but he finds something very complicated and difficult after that. The transformation of rhythms, moods, atmosphere, tension, sequence, tools and scents into words and sentences into an understandable screenplay. So the complicated and difficult thing for the author was to set the rhythms, moods, atmosphere, tension, sequences, tools, and scents into the words so that they can be displayed in a film. This is an almost impossible task. The only thing that can be satisfactorily transferred from the original complex of rhythms and mood is the dialogue. And even dialogue is a sensitive substance which may offer resistance. So, the author is saying that it was almost impossible to put all the things into words. And one more thing, it was the mood in the dialogue. That too was a difficult thing for author because that was the part of the characters. So it depends on them that how they make those dialogues alive. Written dialogue is like a musical score, almost incomprehensible to an average person. Its interpretation demands technical knack plus a central kind of imagination and feeling qualities which are so often lacking even among actors. He says that written dialogues are just like the musical scores and only an expert can understand that thing. An average person cannot understand all those things. And many a times he is saying that many a times the actors even don't understand the feeling qualities of particular dialogues. So one can write dialogue, but how it should be delivered, its rhythm and tempo, which is to take place between lines, all this must be omitted for practical reasons. So he is saying that one can write dialogue very easily, although writing dialogue is also a difficult task, but that too is quite easy in front of the making the dialogues live. But he is saying that the quality, the real art is its rhythm and tempo that must be understood by the actors. Such a detailed script would be unreadable. I tried to squeeze instructions as to location, characterization, and atmosphere into my screenplays in understandable terms. Therefore, the author is saying that in his script he tried to put all the things in his screenplays in a very understandable terms. But the success of this depends on my writing ability and the perspectiveness of the readers, which are not always predictable. So the success of a film is dependent on the writing ability of the author plus the adaptability of the readers, even means the person, how they take the things, how the audience take the things, that too is quite important for him. Now let us see the next part of the non-fiction, that is the rhythm of a film. Now we come to essentials, by which I mean mounting, rhythm, and the relation of one picture to another, the vital third dimension without which the film is merely a dead product from factory. So here the author is saying that after all the processes, here comes the things which are quite essential, that is the rhythm of the film. Here I cannot clearly give a key as in a musical score, nor a specific idea of the tempo which determines the relationship of the elements involved. So he says that just like a music or a song is having some sort of musical score, but film doesn't have such sort of things, so and a to tell the specific idea to the audience. So he is quite worried about it. It is quite impossible for me to indicate the way in which the film breathes and pulsates. I have often wished for a kind of notion which would enable me to put on paper all the shades and tones of my vision. So the author is saying that he wants to put all the tones and all the things, whatever he is imagining, but it is impossible for him to record distinctly the inner structure of the film. For when I stand in the artistically devastating atmosphere of the studio, my hands and head full of all the trivial and irritating details that go with motion picture production. Therefore, the author is saying whenever he reaches to his studio, then he got very irritated because he has to create a relationship between the imagination and the real film. It often takes a tremendous effort to remember how I originally saw and thought out this and that sequence, or what was the relation between the scene of 4 weeks ago and that of today. So, as we all understand that filmmaking is not the work of a single day or of a single week even. So, it is very difficult. Here author is saying that to create a correlation between the scene of the 4 weeks ago and of today, it is quite difficult for him. If I could express myself clearly in explicit symbols, then this problem would be almost eliminated and I could work with absolute confidence that whenever I liked. So, he says that if he gets something or some symbols by which he can express himself, so the problem can be solved very easily. I could prove the relationship between the part and the whole and put my finger on the rhythm and the continuity of the film. Thus, the script is very imperfect technical basis for the film. And there is another important point in the connection which I should like to mention. Film has nothing to do with literature. The character and the substance of the two art forms are usually in conflict. So here the author wants to clarify that there is nothing relationship between the film and the literature. Everything is quite opposite to each other. This probably has something to do with the receptive process of the mind. The written word is read and assimilated by the conscious act of the will in alliance with the intellect. He says that the written word is read in the literature and it is the work of our mind that we have to understand it with our intellect. Little by little, it affects the imagination and the emotions. The process is different with the motion picture. When we experience a film, we consciously prime ourselves for illusion. But one more difference, he is saying that the film is having, when we watch any film, then we prepare ourselves for the illusions. Putting aside will and intellect, we make way for it in our imagination. The sequence of picture plays directly on our feelings. Music works in the same fashion. I would say that there is no art form that has so much in common with film as music. So here, author wants to similarize music with the film because both things affect our mind. Both affect our emotions directly, not via the intellect. And film is mainly rhythm. It is inhalation and exhalation in continuous sequence. So, the author says that both the things, music and film, both affect our emotions directly, and it is just like breathing in and breathing out. Ever since childhood, music has been my great source of recreation and stimulation, and I often experience a film or play musically. So, author is sharing his own experience that since from his childhood, he enjoy any of the film just like a music. Therefore, he just want to correlate the film with the music.